So during Trump's sorry about that. During Trump's joint session, I don't know why I keep saying State of the Union. Maybe it's so burnt in my brain. But during Trump's speech, he brought up a lot of people. This happens in every single speech. Every single president brings up a person that went through some sort of trial or adversity or tragedy. And there was one individual that got a lot of attention. And look, his name is DJ Daniel. He is a 13-year-old cancer survivor. Now, I know a lot of people that have faced off against cancer. And recently I found out that somebody very close to me was suffering from skin cancer. And they didn't want to tell me because of the amount of stress I was under. They were afraid that would hurt me. And see, I hate cancer. I really do. It's hurt a lot of people close to me. I despise it. And I can't wait to one day it's really eradicated. This hits close to home for me. And apparently, the big brain people at BSDNC, if you really want to implode your network, go ahead. But when you start saying, and of course, hold on, I just want to make sure because I want to get their names correctly. Nicolle, Wallace, and Rachel Maddow blasted for politicizing Trump's honor of a 13-year-old cancer survivor. Now, I think when you see this video, you will rage out. And for me, listen, I could say whatever. I could be critical of Donald Trump. But MSNBC, BSDNC, of all the networks, I mean, I never liked CNN, but congratulations. You replaced CNN as a network that I hate more, MSNBC. And the fact that you're hemorrhaging views, the fact that your network is dying is all I need to see. Because when you start bringing in a kid who beat cancer, I kind of wanted to see that peacock burn. Because it means a lot to me when somebody fights cancer. One of my viewing audience members at midnight messaged us on Discord, the Accord Lord. He said to my audience on Discord at midnight, I think it was last month, guys, I beat cancer. I hate cancer. So if this upsets you, try not to get too angry. Don't punch your screen. If you're driving on the road, don't go on road rage. Take it away, BSDNC. Show the people who you really are.
But I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide.
Say again? Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you have any idea what that family has gone through? All right. He survived cancer. Now they have some MSNBC jagoff pontificating. Oh, I hope he doesn't self-delete. Oh, I hope he doesn't live to regret his decisions. Do you have any idea what that family went through? Do you? In your ivory tower? MSNBC? Nicolle Wallace? Oh, no, you stepped on a non-negotiable landmine here, especially with somebody like me, because I hate cancer. Say it again, Nicolle Wallace. Say it again. Say it again for my people. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
To defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Uh-huh. Oh, you venomous, disrespectful, vile person. You're going to say that. about this kid. You know who was actually made into an honorary agent for the Secret Service? You know, good for him. He's probably light years ahead of a lot of the other people in the Secret Service. My goodness, all the stories we covered and how they've been fumbling. I mean, you're gonna take that away from that kid, that 13-year-old survivor. I mean, he's a fighter. In my book, he's a fighter. I'm glad he got praise, and I'm glad he was made into an honorary agent. You know what? And I hope he lives a long, successful life. Whatever he wants to do with his life, he should do it. But the one thing he should not have to deal with when he wakes up this fine morning is seeing some jagoff BSDNC reporter, MSNBC journalist, pundit, talent, go live on air and make this repulsive statement.
He has,
Look, even Jen Psaki's kind of making the face like, hey, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say.
a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, but I didn't forget about Rachel. I did not forget about Rachel. Did not forget about Rachel Maddow, everybody's favorite person who, you know, the Trump derangement syndrome, you know, that heavyweight champion, you know. Here was her response. Rachel, take it away, Rachel.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who's thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that. This was in the midst of him praising Doge. The Doge cuts, among other things, have cut off funding for ongoing research into pediatric cancer.
All right. First of all, Rachel, you're stepping in it. And of course, the whole world has responded a little bit. BSDNC, I mean MSNBC, Nicolle, Wallace, and Rachel Maddow have been blasted as sick and twisted after they shamelessly politicized President Trump for making 13-year-old cancer survivor DJ Daniel an honorary Secret Service agent. Well, congratulations, DJ. Congratulations. There you go. Trump had praised DJ's year-long fight with brain cancer in one of the most touching moments of his speech to Congress late Tuesday, with a brave child wearing a police uniform, then proudly showing off his new law enforcement badge to the audience. Still, Wallace and Maddow quickly used the emotional moment to rip Trump during an MSNBC panel. First of all, listen, you're supposed to give analysis and news and commentary about the policies that Trump is talking about. You could have talked about a lot of things, like how BlackRock is taking over the Panama Canal or some key ports around the Panama Canal. You could talk about, hey, Trump, and you know what? I took a whiskey shot. I wasn't expecting him to talk about Greenland. He mentioned Greenland. You could talk about Trump and the tariffs. There was a treasure trove of things to do. But the one thing you don't freaking do, and I'm going to back away from the mic as far as I can, you don't talk about a kid who beat brain cancer. All right? You can criticize Trump for all that stuff, okay? All of his policies. But lay off that kid. All right? You don't have to say, oh no, he'll live to regret his decisions. Oh no. Oh, this was disgusting. Oh no. That kid is a fighter, okay? And he beat cancer. So already he's respected in my book. Just when you think you couldn't hate MSNBC even more. And no, the story's not in the show notes. And I'm really doing my best not to really get too emotional here, because I've had people close to me and new friends fight and defeat or still keep on fighting cancer. And I had somebody very close to me tell me that they had skin cancer and they didn't want to tell me because I've been under a lot of stress. And I told them, no, you tell me, because I'll be at your side. So I want to play a video here because this is DJ himself speaking. So I think. All right, good. It's working.
But you want to know the craziest part? because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. And out of nowhere, I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me." And then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow. And then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital. And then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
So, all right. And I hear a lot of people who face off against cancer deal with a lot of these trials and tribulations. The thing is, MSNBC, you know, there's been talk about what's going to happen to your network. There's been talk about what's going to happen to you down the road. With your quote unquote pundits and experts, you know, I think this look, let me go ahead and find it again. This look right here. This look right here from Jen Psaki says, all I need to know about where the future of MSNBC is at. Okay. And I want to give a huge shout out to you, Cord Lord. That's the guy who messaged us on Discord. He told me he beat cancer. He told us all at midnight. As you should. As you should indeed. But this look right here from Jen Psaki is all I need to know in regards to the future of MSNBC and what they stepped in.
That crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Brilliant move, BSDNC. Brilliant move in your actions. I mean, did you really expect people not to pay attention, especially with how you've been presenting yourselves? I mean, Nicolle, Wallace, Rachel Maddow. It is rather sick and twisted that you would actually do something that foolish. And of course, now everyone is calling MSNBC pathetic. Everyone is calling out for MSNBC to hold Rachel and her colleague accountable because, look, he's a kid, just fought off brain cancer. But how else do you really feel, MSNBC? You could have chose so many other things to talk about. You could have brought up so many things, and yet you have Nicolle Wallace say, "Oh, I hope he doesn't live to regret his decisions." That's pretty cold. But that's why your network's failing. The peacock is dying. You know, the next time you're driving wherever you're at and you see a peacock on the road, just leave it there. That's MSNBC. Leave it there and keep on driving and say, hey, too bad, so sad. And keep on pushing forward.